say that I'm from here because I see where it's going.
Right.
But what a lot of artists can look at and really take use to their advantage is being able to look and think outside the box. You know, if they're really serious about this, then they gotta look at their competition. Do I want to compete with the cats that's right here on this corner, or do I want to compete with the cats that I see on the TV?
Right.
Who do I want to be compared to? Who do I want to be compared with? I can say I'm the hottest rapper. I can act like I'm the hottest rapper, the hardest artist out. But if I'm not putting out the substance that what the people think is the hottest rapper, because the people are gonna choose the people. Right. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you're the hottest rapper. You can't, because it's always up to the streets. It's always up to the people.
Real talk.
And you know, just keep it real with yourself and just try to make your music universal and not just Wichita.
Right on.
You know. And another thing that we can do as artists is work together and not work against each other, man. Stop the hating. You know what I'm saying? If a cat do got some hot material, support it, promote it.
Real
you know, help
talk.
him push it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll push you. You know, if I see somebody pushing my stuff, you best believe I'm clicking on some links, copying some links, and I'm pushing their stuff all day.
Word
up. You know
up.
what I'm saying? And I do a lot of promo, so it'll be to anybody's advantage. You know, because I got a small little following that's growing, so I have to do promo. I have to keep my fans updated. So, you know, and even if I see something hot, it might be a cat that I don't know, I ain't never even heard of. But if it's hot, I tell my people about it. Yo, check this out. Y'all might like it.
Right on.
I would, just to piggyback off of what Noxx is saying, really, the thing really about Wichita that, I mean, it kind of just gets up under my skin as far as everybody's stuck in their own world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't, we, like Wichita, man, like, the talent here is very, 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 very high. You know, I go other places, I see the talent there, and I'm like, man. But the thing that separates us from them is that we don't work together. Everybody's in their own world. Everybody want to be the man, be responsible for pulling Wichita, putting it on the map, which I don't understand. It's like it's a movement. If you look at everything from the West Coast, from the South, you know, from the East, everybody was making one movement. It wasn't just one hot rapper came up from that whole place, that whole area, that whole genre. From the South, when you had people like Master P, it wasn't just Master P. He had a whole movement going.
Right on.
You see what I'm saying? And then right behind him, it was Baby and them was right behind him. So that was a whole movement going. The thing about Wichita is that, like I said, everybody is too stuck on themselves. Who was the best rapper? Who was the best producer? Who was the best this? Who was the best that? And I'm like, man, everybody's good. That's what makes us so great, because we got a little bit of all the coast. We in the middle.
Right.
So we got a taste of everybody. Everybody's good. You know what I mean? I hear it all the time, man. Who do you think? What you think about SC? And I'm like, dude, SC Trill, that's my friend. You know what I mean? That's my guy. What you think about Maestro? Maestro is hot. What you think about him? One of my posters, you know what I mean? It's like people be coming like, see, your beats is the hardest shit. I'm like, bro. And if anybody really knows how a real album is made, there's just not one producer on a correct album.
Right.
On a whole album, it's a team of producers, because you got different ideas.
Right.
You got different areas. And that's where we lost at.
Right.
We just stuck in our own world, like one man can do the whole thing.
Right.
It never has been. Its music is too big for one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from Rod G. I learned a lot of stuff from everybody I'm around that has knowledge for me. It could be somebody younger. It could be a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old.
Right. Like,
man, have you thought about? And it's like, dang, I never thought of it that way.
Right.
That's what makes it so great. And then that's what makes you also, on my end, a producer, artist, whatever you want to be. That's what when you can learn and accept lessons and accept knowledge from other people and take it as far as criticism or take it as constructive criticism, you'll go far. Because when you start working with the Ice Cubes and with the Snoop Dogs, man, that's what they're doing. They taking million, and if you look at Pac's history, just one of the greatest, Tupac, how he was recording songs and I don't want that one on this album. You recording 20, 30 songs in 2 days.
Right.
But nothing is never satisfied. So when you raise your bar standards, you'll be open to listen. I gotta listen for everything. I gotta see what makes me great, what separates me from everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when you start tapping into what you're doing. That's when Wichita become a threat in the music game. When everybody get from just their self and start tapping in. Okay, let's work together. How can I make this different? How can I make this be the best project on my end, but also taking criticism from everybody else and being different? Right now, we stuck on too much gang, but either we gang banging or we snapping and popping.
Right.
Really, when you got a whole album, you got some people who like the chicks. Of course, y'all can't leave them out because chicks buy music all the time. When they in the club, they want to dance or something.
Right.
That's why you got all these R&B artists selling. You got the chicks. You also got the younger crowd. You also got the snapping. You got the popping. But also you got the street. But also you got the reality. Right now, everybody is gang banging or they snapping and popping, which is already familiar with the music game. So that's why nobody has not cracked open, because they're doing something that's familiar.
Right on.
You know, when we do something that's different, something that ain't familiar, oh man, that's when it's gonna be like, whoa.
Right.
That's when it's gonna be like crazy. That's why you see the people like Drake, or you see the Lil Waynes, or you see people that's totally different, that's weird, wearing tight jeans and high tops, and like, man, what is he? But he's selling music because he's appealing to everybody. He's not only appealing to one generation, he's appealing to Asians, he's appealing to the white, he's appealing to the blacks, he's appealing to everybody where they can be like, man, the little kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's making stuff that people can really, that what an album is going to consist of for people to buy.
Diversified.
You know, we in a recession, man.
Right.
Whether you like it or not. So that means every $12 I spend on the album, I got to get my $12 worth.
Right.
I may not like track 2, I may not like track 5, but I like 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's cool for me for 12. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like really is a base problem with Wichita around here, man.
I tell you, I don't, you know, like I said, I read a lot of the blogs and everything, you know what I'm saying? I go through the sites, and it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, who do you think is the hottest, or, you know, who is it? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, every time I read it, like, I go Dave Chappelle on them. It's like, Dylon. You know what I'm saying? Because I spit hot fire, you know what I'm saying? It's like, stop, you know what I'm saying? And I wish that more artists in Wichita would work together and would, you know what I'm saying, and drop an album together, because once one breaks through, everybody can break through. But it's just like, it's, you know, if somebody's hot here, then if they ain't part of their clique or they ain't their homeboy, they not going to support it. You know
and that's sad though, man, because you know what, it's really a sad situation, because I could go to Hutchinson, man, and clean house. I can go to Hutch, I can go to Junction City, or I can even go to, you know, like I said, I go out of my town and get it's like, we too cheap here. Everybody doing, you know what I mean? Don't nobody want to spend no money for whatever they need to spend when it's all a progress, you know what I'm saying? But when you go out of town, everybody's like, man, why don't you move down here, man? Because you get where you go differently, you get more love at.
Right.
And I'm like, man, when I go home, it's like I'm in a war, like I'm in a battle. I'm like, you know, I got my clientele, and people are like, well, man, I ain't going in your spot because I'm going over here, and he got the same thing, and he this, and he woo. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, the same people called it like, man, I need some time. You think I can? I'm like, there, with that vibe, you walking in my doors, it's already at odds.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you trying to compete, and you really not coming to recruit. You coming to look and see what I got, and you trying to fit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the problem with us.
Espionage, I feel you.
That's the problem with us.
And I see that a lot. Like, in comparison to my move from here to Atlanta, that's one of the reasons why Atlanta is so on top right now, is because they support their people.
Yeah.
Like as far as like the streets go and the music scene goes, like you coming out, you bringing something that's worthy, then they gonna support it. They gonna support it. They're not gonna hate, because they see the uniqueness and the genuineness of it.
Right.
And so that's something like C was saying, man. All we got to do is work together, you know, be unified and just support each other. It's a support system.
Right on.
We got to maintain.
But so here's my number one question, okay? And we gonna have to split this interview up, because I'm not cutting questions here just to make a time limit, okay? We're gonna have to split the video, okay? So get real close. I'm gonna answer this question. I want y'all to answer this one, because how big a part does the local radio play in the support or non-support thereof of the artist. Did you hear me talking? I did ask the question, okay? I'm just saying. I'll let y'all handle that.
The radio plays a huge part, man. But also, the thing I have with the radio, and everybody's like, well, the radio won't play this. I hate this certain people because he think it ain't right. I'm not saying no names. You know what I'm saying? You know,
we ain't saying no
names.
But you know who we talking about.
But also we also gotta be go back to what I was saying. We also gotta be responsible for our actions. If you go get this man a CD, no cover, just writing on it, it doesn't sound to par. It's not gonna get no spins. It's period. It's not gonna happen. If it's talking about gang banging and profanity, it's not gonna get no spins. The radio station is looking for hits. You know, and to be honest with you, I've had spins on the radio multiple times. And every time I go in there, it's no problem because you got to know the remedy that they're looking for. Mm-hmm. If you a thug and you got something talking about gang banging and this and all, it's not going to get played. And then you'll be mad because you won't get played. You see, so you got to kind of make the music appealing for radio station. All the time radio, you shouldn't have to go and get a song that got to be edited the whole time, you know, and just for it to get played, it got to be edited and take another 2 hours to edit make the song radio.
Every 3 words you got sides.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're too busy cussing and going out of context, you know. So I can agree with the radio also as well. I can also it's a setback too as well. You know, they don't play it. I think the radio station don't play enough things as far as what's the good music. I think they've got a bad side to it. They had so many bad experiences until it's like, we don't want no local artists. We don't want no local talent because they already know. It's in a cycle. We know what this is gonna be. They're gonna come with no cover. They're gonna come with it halfway to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I went with a cover sheet. I went with a portfolio. I went with a CD done completely. With what I'm doing, the whole process. Went in there. I didn't go in a suit and tie, but I went in there like I had sense.
Step your game up, okay? Step your game up.
And actually the person that I was speaking with had somebody else in it, but he said, hold on. He said, don't leave, because I want to talk to you. When he seen what was going on, he opened it up and was stuck like, man, this is what I've been looking for. I have no problem paying this. It was in the Battle of Fresh Jams next week.
True testimony. Yeah. I know y'all busy. We gonna get ready to get out of here. But I gotta ask you, Noxx, before we get out of here, and I asked all the talented individuals this question. I asked Miss Ayala this a couple weeks ago, and it's always interesting the different answers that you get from the artists when you ask them this question. Let me ask you this: at the end of the day, if you had to make a choice, okay, you can't have both. You might get both, but right now you can't have both. You can only have one. If you had to be remembered for, say, the passion and the drive and the realness of your music, would you take that, or would you take being an all-time selling mainstream artist? What would be more important to you, the success or the love of your fans?
I mean, that's a good question, because what is success? It depends on what you determine the definition of success is, and just to have that one person that appreciates the lyrics that I put out and listens is all the success I need. You know, at the end of the day, with me, it's not about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the being on TV. It's not about none of that. It's just about me going in there and doing my thing on that booth and having somebody on the other end listen to it and hear what I'm saying and pick up something from it. Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, learn something from it or make them even think about something that they're about to do. You know what I mean? Or uplift them in a certain way. That's what it's all about.
Right on. Let me, before we get out of here, y'all tell me what's going on with y'all in the future. What can the people expect to see from y'all within the next 6 months? What's going on?
So you want to take that first?
Man, I know gospel side, of course, everybody don't really get into it. We got a hot group coming out called New Lyric. They have been doing stuff with a lot of things as far as with the Marvin Sapp. We're doing a lot. We did a couple of joints with Marvin Sapp. We're also doing something with Beat the Browns coming up soon. New Lyric, they coming tough. New Lyric coming tough. I'm gonna say it again. New Lyric is coming tough, man. Also.